Words may fail me in this endeavor to explain something that's been writing me forever. Perhaps one way to get this out was to write this letter. The secret's been hiding behind my eyes, covered in normal, a lie, subject to questions of motive, desires, and why. In order to tell you about those days, it has to be done for now in this way, hiding my delicates, barely, like cheap lingerie. There was a dance I learned long ago, one that the young should not be shown. It hurts quite a bit, more than you know. Big family, big world, lots of things to explore. Testing, reactions, sensations. What's war? The Matchbox races, while mommy snores. We were active and curious, energy galore. There were always a lot of us, and then there were more. Once one could walk, there'd be one at the door. Diapers and laundry, mopping the floor. Groceries, dishes, the normal chores. Combined with days off, and then we'd work more. Seems nothing amiss in this world of bliss. Clothes and food, and the gossip persists. Everything else, well, I'll describe what's below this. A decade and a half hijacked the other 4. It didn't dawn on me why until I opened that door, shining a candle on darkness to light that dim corner. Again, I mentioned normal. That's where this hid. A realization, perhaps, that there was a kid with more damage left over than the adult would admit. I'll share a tale or two, if you don't mind taking a few steps in my past at last, or even just a minute or two. There's something here for someone, so maybe just you. The question of how long a cold shower should last is 12 minutes. Everything shrivels. Guilt, not so fast. That's for wetting the bed 5 nights out of 8 past. It took me until 12 to finally shed that plight. The blue lips and shivers must have been right in keeping me free from pissing myself at night. There were other lessons in the education when a joke went wrong or when asking a question. You get hit a lot in quite a few one-way sessions. Watch my sister, football girl, kicked across the floor. I was too small to know the score, but Dad was winning while Ma stood by the door. Speaking of that, there's a tale with some splat. The one with a crowbar, a wall, and all that. Dad thought he'd hit Ma, but no, take that. Old boy stumbled from my room with his hands on the wall. It looked as if he would keel over and fall. His blood splatters were streaked across my room and all. For years that stain splayed against light blue and white. It was normal for it to go black over time. Little did I know that night that would lead to afflictions with a whole different bite. I left a mark once on some kid's head. Told him to duck. Stone bonked him anyway. Just my luck. Later, his mother showed mine. Oh shit. I'm so stuck. So what did I do? Ran away. Why? Penalties to pay. Made it 5 miles to familiars and sanctuary. That was short-lived, as folks know everyone anyway. Delivered back into cage and facade of the good family, pure and used to applause. When the doors closed, and then the pain was. There's a dance taught to me as a child. It goes in circles, and it can become quite wild, depending on how hard or light or the fashion style. What I mean by that is, a fat belt differs much from thin, and that's all in how it touches the skin. Doubled over in a loop, shorter the swing. Depends. Anticipation, however, is simply nausea at the core. It's the preview show before the threshing floor. Mother, supposed refuge, glares tearful, but nothing more. I remember the steps to the dance taught to me. Much was done on tiptoe, with nowhere to flee. Round and round, as each swish left a sting. A side note for those Locked in desperate straits? Here are some secrets, the pain to abate. 3 pairs of pants, sweats, and tissue also work great. There's no defense, however, when the clothes come off. And I'm sorry, but that's when you pay the boss. It's gonna leave marks at which no one can scoff. Spent weeks on the bleachers, wishing I could swim with the class, but there were marks, yellow and purple, left from the lash. That spanned from my shoulders to well below my ass. Fortunately, as I grew, I found exits to run through. But then their tactics changed, with love, a poison stew, a salve of hypocrisy, sadism, and laced with "I miss you." Questions were answered with ultimatums and such. Believe or find pain. Believe or get struck. Believe. Believe what? Well, have faith and everything will work out. Just trust. Well, I checked their God into the psycho ward, along with all the other garbage from that dear Lord. Insanity, the diagnosis. Beliefs we can't afford. I'll stop for a moment to take a breath. Hands clasped. Was this a little too much? Too soon or too fast? Because there's more. So much more, if only one would ask. How does someone explain what normal is supposed to be if normal wasn't anything someone ever got to see? It took forever to realize that what's not normal was not me.